Everyone, welcome to PUC Online Classroom. Today I am going to continue our lesson, activity number 4, tough predicaments. Predicament means difficult situation, alright? So tough predicament is like you were in a difficult situation. So in this activity, what you are going to do is to listen to 3 people talk about their predicaments, their difficult situation. So first you have to number them from 1 to 3 in the order, okay? So these are the predicaments, so that you have to write down from number 1 to number 3, okay, according to the order of the problem or the predicament, okay? So for example, the first one is two people were fighting in the street. What would you do if you saw two people fighting in the street? Okay, so that you have to listen and find out the suggestions. For the suggestions right here, which is about part B, it means that you have to listen one more time. So part A, what you need to do is to listen and order this predicament, all right, from 1 to 3. And in part B, what you need to do is to find the suggestion from the listening, okay? All right, so this is about listening, and I already attached the listening file so that you can just listen and find out the answers. And let me move on to next one, which is about number 6, word power opposites. So in this activity is all about your job. I would like you to focus on these words, and these are 9 pairs of opposites. What you need to do is to match each. Okay, as you can see, the first one, accept. So the opposite of it is refuse. Okay, what about admit? So admit means telling the truth, and the opposite of it is deny. Okay, so I want you to find the rest of it. Okay, so these are opposite words, and as you can see, number 7, that is the next activity. I felt terrible. Okay, so again, this is about listening, but we don't need to listen, and we just go through all together. All right, so let's take a look at the instruction a little bit before we know what we are going to do. Listen to people talk about recent predicaments. Okay, then check the best suggestion for each one. Okay, so these one and this one are predicaments. So let listen and check, but it's all about your own ideas. You can pick up your own ideas. Okay, so let's take a look at the situation of the predicament. What a disaster! I spilled juice on my parents' new couch. See that this is a new couch, and he's spilled juice, okay, on it. They weren't home, so his parents were not at home. So I just turned the cushion over, so turn it over upside down. And what should I have done? Is about asking for suggestion. And so these are the choices. First, you should have told them about it. Second, you should have cleaned it immediately, or you should have offered to buy them a new couch. All right, so this is about your own ideas. You can just go through it without listening, okay? And you probably can have different ideas from the listening. It doesn't matter, okay? For me, I prefer number 2. You should have cleaned it immediately. All right, so I think you should have told them about it is also fine, okay? But this is the first thing that you have to do, okay? And once you finish this, whether you can clean it or not, then you can tell them the truth about it, okay? And you should have offered to buy them a new couch. That's pretty hard, okay? Because we are their son, so probably we don't need to do that, okay? But we just do the right things. First, clean. Second, tell them, okay? And they will not punish us, I guess. Second predicament, I forgot my best friend's birthday. I felt terrible, so I sent him a text to apologize. What would you have then? It's like asking for your ideas. All right, so he asking for your idea, and then he said that, or someone else said that, I would have called him right away. Right away means immediately. I would have sent him a nice birthday present, and I would have invited him out for a meal. So it is up to your own idea, everybody. So for me, I might do two things. One is the second, I would have sent him a nice birthday present while I am having meal with him. Okay, so I would have sent him a nice birthday present, and I choose the third one. I would have invited him out for a meal because it is our best friend, right? So it is not wrong to invite someone for dinner, just example. Okay, so I prefer number two and number three, but if I have only one choice, I will go to number two. All right, it doesn't matter. Late is better than nothing. Okay, so it doesn't matter if we send him a very late birthday present. It doesn't matter, at least we did, right? Okay, so that's it for activity number 7. So let's go to number 8, which is about past modals. So in this grammar point is about past, but in this case we focus on past suggestion and past opinion by using past modals right here. So if you take a look at this, use would have or should have plus past participle to give opinions or suggestions about actions in the past. So when you take a look at this explanation right here, maybe you will ask would have and should have with opinion and suggestion. You probably ask me which one is for opinions, which one is for suggestion. Remember, when you take a look at conjunction or like this, okay, so would will go to the first, so with its opinion, should will go to the second, which is suggestions. So they will agree respectively. Okay, so when you have two choices, okay, number one and number two, and the idea about two, they don't mention would have would be opinions and should have would be suggestions. They just write something like this, and we don't probably know exactly what it is. Okay, so in this case, would have means opinion, should have means suggestions. If you practice reading or if you happen to read a lot, you will see something like this with conjunction or first idea or the second idea, and then the next sentence they will say the first idea is blah 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 or the second idea blah blah blah. So we know exactly that the first is number one, the second is number two, things like that. Okay, so let me explain more details about past modals. Take a look at the next extra handout. This is about past modal. Let's find out how we use it. So we use past modals to talk about something in the past. Of course, something in the past already happened, everybody. That was imaginary. I mean, it did not happen. All right, it's just your imagination or hypothetical. It did hypothetical right here means it did not really happen. It's just our imagination in the past. Okay, you probably don't really understand what it is, but let me give you a form a little bit and then you will see exactly what I mean. So forms, we have past opinion and past suggestion. So let me begin with past opinion. So the form is subject, would, and then you can have a negative one, not, have. Okay, would have in the same part, okay, everybody, and past participle. So we cannot change have to has because of the subject right here. No, okay, that is the reason I put in one space right here. But if you want to have negative, so you have not to separate two of them, and past participle, you can say verb 3 and object. Let's find out how we use past opinion. So it is used when we put ourselves into someone's situation. So actually it's not about our situation, but it's about someone else's situation. Okay, so we put ourselves into someone's shoe. Okay, if you were in someone's shoe, just like that. Okay, so if we put ourselves into someone's situation in the past in order to give that person an opinion, but actually it did not happen. So we just put ourselves into his or her situation, okay, to give the idea, but that idea did not happen. Why? Because it is already late. Okay, because it already happened, and the way we say it, it just to make a something like imagination. Okay, as you can see, these two examples, I lied to my mother that I didn't break the glass yesterday. So actually, you broke the glass yesterday and then you lied to your mom. Okay. And then Phil said, I would have told her the truth. Okay. So you might wonder why we use I right here. So Phil said, I would have told her the truth. Do you think that is about Phil's problem? Of course not. It is not Phil's problem. But Phil tried to put himself into same situation in order to give opinion. So whenever you put yourself or someone else put him or herself to someone else's situation, so we use would, okay, would have right here. So actually the full sentence is I would have told her the truth if I were you. So you here refers to Sam, okay? And if I were you, you don't need to write down this. But when you say I would have told her the truth, it's just like it's not your own problem. It's not Phil's problem. It's about Sam's problem. Okay. But if Phil were Sam, so he would have told. Okay. But right here we need to use I because Phil is the one to say that. But whatever Phil said right here, I have told her the truth, did not happen, everybody. So look at the reality. Phil didn't say anything because it was not his problem. But it's just like if he were in that situation, if he were Sam, he would have told his mother the truth, right? Look at another situation. Mike, I left the trash at the campsite last weekend. So Mike, went camping, and then when he left, he didn't pick up the trash at all. So Max said, I would not have left the trash at the campsite. Okay, and you probably ask, Mac was right there too? No, of course not. But Mac said, if I were Mike, so if Mac were Mike, I would or he would not have left the trash at the campsite. Okay, so it means that Mac tries to put himself into Mike's situation in order to give him opinion, all right, by saying I would have not left the trash at the campsite. Okay, so look at the explanation right here. Actually, Mac was not right there, and he didn't leave the trash there either, or either, as you can see right here. So Mac was not right there, but if Mac were Mike, then he would not have left the trash right there. Okay, so again, everybody, past opinion is about putting ourselves into someone's situation in order to give him or her the opinion, and we use would have. Okay, and should have, which is about past suggestion. All right, look at the explanation right here. It is used when we gave the suggestion to the person during that time in the past. The suggestion did not happen at all, so the same. Okay, the idea or the suggestion did not happen. So let's take a look at the example here. I lied to my mother that I didn't break the glass yesterday. So I used the same example and you can see the difference. Phil said that, who is you? It's Sam. So Sam should have told her mother or told her the truth. So Phil talked to Sam. Sam, you should have told her the truth. Actually, it's too late. Sam didn't do that because Sam already lied to his mother. All right, and Phil give him the suggestion. Okay, but it did not happen. It's too late. Okay, the same thing. If you take a look at another pair of examples right here, similar. I left the trash at the campsite last weekend. Okay, but this time the subject is you. Okay, you should not have left the trash at the campsite. Mike didn't do that at all. Okay, as you can see right here is about subject you. So anytime you use suggestion, mostly you use subject you or he or she, things like that. All right, or they, because we want to give them or him or her the suggestion. And this one, we want to give him or her idea, but we have to put ourselves into their situation in order to use would have. And usually the subject with would is I. If I were you, I would blah blah blah. Okay. All right, so if you have any questions, everybody, about past models, so you can leave me question in the classroom, or maybe you can go to our Telegram group chat. Okay, so let me go back to our lesson. So in this case, I'd like you to do exercise A. So A is very simple. As you can see right here, they just ask you to fill in with past participle only. So it is not difficult, but let me explain number one and number two a little bit, okay? Because number one and number two is what I explained in our handout. So look at A. The cashier gave me too much change. What should I have done? It's about should, and then you, okay? So when you use should, you have to use subject you. You right here refers to the subject A, all right, the person A. So A should have said something, and you shouldn't have, A shouldn't have taken the money, all right? So it's about giving suggestions. So we use should have. However, number two, A said, I ignore an email from someone I don't like. What would you have done? It's just like, what would you have done if you were me? It's about asking you to put yourself into his or her situation in order to give opinion. And then B said, if I were you, A, if I were you, I would have replied to the person. It just takes a minute, all right? So right here is not about B's problem. So B didn't receive any email from anybody, all right? But A asked B, what would you have done if you were me? So B tried to put himself or herself into A situation in order to give opinion. So that is the reason you see the subject I would right here, okay? You might go back to the handout. So right here, would is about putting ourselves into someone's situation in order to give that opinion, okay? But suggestion is about giving that person suggestion, and normally we use subject you right here, or he right here, or she right here. So this is about suggestion. And your job is to do this, but you can take a look at the reason why they use subject I, you right here, okay? So maybe you can go back to the handout and you will understand clearly, okay? And after you finish this exercise, I want you to do B as well. This is about matching suggestions and, sorry, situation and suggestion. So you have to match this two all together, all right? So later I will give you the answer. That's it for today, everybody. If you have any question, once again, please leave your question in a comment below, or maybe you can go to our Telegram group chat. Thank you so much, everyone. Goodbye.